In the game of golf, hitting fairways is a necessity. And if you can do it successfully, it'll make the game so much easier. In today's video, I've got somebody who hits a ridiculous amount of fairways. In fact, 74% of fairways, more than anybody here at LIV Golf. Henrik Stenson.
Good to see you.
74%, that's impressive.
Yeah, that's a decent number. I think we can get it to 75, don't you?
I don't think I've ever hit 75 fairways, never mind 75%. So, Henrik, give us your 4 top tips for everybody watching and listening of how golfers out there can be more confident at hitting more fairways.
Yeah, I think, and I mean, in the modern game, right, it's a bit of a 50-50 at times where you just want to get as far as you can and find it and hit it again, right? Yep. I'm kind of old school, as you know. I've been around quite a long time. I like to play from the fairway. I like to be in control of my golf ball, and yeah, so I mean, club selection comes to mind. That's pretty important. I think a lot of times it's just easy to, okay, it's a par 4 or par 5, it's a driver. No, that's not always the case. Like finding the right spot to play from, and in particular when we're playing links golf, we're heading out to the Open next week. It's like you want to avoid fairway bunkers and like all these things. So it might be a certain distance here where you're blocked out by trees and not. So I would say club selection, making sure that you try and hit the ball in the right spot. And
so I guess with that as well, number one being club selection, I guess for most golfers, knowing just basic carry distance numbers with the driver, 3-wood, maybe longest iron, because again, if you've got a bunker down there that your ball might land in, there's no point in hitting that club. You want to stay short of it, you want to carry it longer than it. So just knowing basic carry distances is definitely essential.
And I think for a lot of amateurs, they're pretty clueless on that. They think, yeah, I hit a good drive 300, yeah, but it might only be 250 in the air and it might run 50 yards. So it's like, now you got 255 over a bunker and they're happy, oh, I hit my drive at 300 and straight in it. So,
and I suppose the other things is like the conditions. Like we're out here today and it's sunny and warm in Spain at Valderrama, but it's windy. That's going to have a massive effect on your ball flight.
Makes a huge difference on the carry numbers. And I remember earlier this season we were in Korea and it was cold on that. I think it was the second day. It was cold, windy, and most of the guys either use a quad or a TrackMan, right? And we're up there on the range, and the numbers I'm getting on my 8-iron is, I mean, it was over 10 yards shorter than normally.
That makes such a big difference.
Yeah, so it's virtually a club just on you got a couple of layers on, it's cold, like all these things, and they're not even hitting it into the wind or downwind and all these things. So it's a lot of factors, obviously, to take into account.
So we're on the 10th hole here at Valderrama.
Yeah.
The bunker's around about 260, 265 to reach to.
Yeah.
So what's your club selection off this tee if you want to hit this fairway?
Yeah, I mean, here I'd say it's probably a 3-iron. There's two things, like you say. One is the run out straight up, and the other one is really those trees on the right-hand side that you hit it far enough to pass those ones. So it's, yeah, that's what we're trying to do basically.
So once we've got club selection, I think again a lot of golfers would maybe struggle with their aim. Yeah. They might aim too far right, too far left. I mean, here we've got a tiny shoot to get through. What's your top tips for amateur golfers to aim better?
Well, one thing, I think the easiest one would be to just take like a little aim in front of you. I'm here. Okay, well, I guess first I start with where I want to be out there, right? So, okay, it's the kind of right 2/3 of the bunker. There's a little tongue there. Okay, that's where I want to go. Then I basically just pick a point about 2 feet or whatever in front of the ball here. I see the edge of that divot. That's on that line. Happy days. I know that's my start line. That's where I want to start it. And I then just set up on that line, and then we can see if 3-iron is the right one.
Look at that. That is right side of the fairway. So I think what was really good there, and again, I love that idea of bringing the target closer to yourself. You've picked a point, because aiming at 260 yards is near impossible.
Yeah.
But bringing something that's only a couple of yards in front of us, a couple of feet in front of us, makes things a lot easier. That's really key. Yeah. I think you can hit more back down there now, we know.
Yeah.
So let's maybe jump to one of your fairway woods, something you're famous for, how good you are with your fairway woods. So we've gone through Club selection, really important. We've gone through aim, equally as important. As we've now chosen the weapon and we've aimed correctly, what around things when you stood over the ball? Are you ever using anything like visualization? And even today, it's like really windy, wind off the right. What are you doing about shot shape and also selecting a shot shape?
Yeah, no, I think the important thing is knowing what type of shot you're trying to hit, right? So if you're cutting the ball pretty much all the time, I wouldn't stand up there and try and hit a draw. That feels like it's asking for trouble. So knowing what type of shot you're going to play, and then of course take into account the factors like the wind. If it's hard off the right and you're playing a fade, well, that's probably going to neutralize each other and work its way out to pretty neutral shot in the end, or landing ball. So I would again, now I got a fairway wood. The wind's quite hard off the right, so I would adjust my aim just a tiny bit more to the right. And yeah, I'm kind of in my mind's eye. I'm seeing the start line, and I'm going to see the wind just like making this ball fall a little bit to the left on the breeze.
Just before you hit this one, what I'm interested in knowing as well is how, you know, that visualization you're talking about, how clearly you were seeing that image. Like, is that almost like a tracer that you're seeing, or is it just like how you?
Yeah,
how could you explain
I'd say
that?
so. And various people, I mean, you can be more or less into like fields, visualization. Like everyone kind of sees it differently. So a lot of times it's about finding out what's good for you, what works for you. But for me, start line is key. If I got control of my start line, I know where the ball's going to start, and then I can just factor in what the wind's going to do and what's going to happen.
Let's see this one, then we've got one final tip, which I think is the real game changer. Oh, look at that.
That should be in the right spot.
I mean, that is exactly, like you talked about visualization, that was what I pictured. Like that was that little soft draw, it rode on the wind, it's in A1 position, it's perfect. Tip number 4, so far we've gone through club selection as being 1, 2 as being aim, making sure you aim, 3 being that kind of conditions and also shot shape. But I feel like it's a golden nugget that really, really good players do. And I think amateurs fall into the trap of not doing. I would say I question and doubt sometimes over the ball. I'm guessing you don't.
I was going to say we'll be back after these messages. And
What? Like when you're stood over that,
yeah.
Do you even have an ounce of doubt? Like are you at like, I'm going to 100% confidence, I'm just going to go at this?
Yeah, I mean, commitment is the word, right? That's key in golf. If you're standing over a putt, if you're standing over a shot, you've got to be committed. And if we all think about how we've been mentally when we're playing well, you are committed. It's a right edge putt, and you stand up there and you got nothing else than I'm going to hit this on the right edge.
Yeah.
Same here. It's like, it's the right edge of that bunker. That's where my ball's going to start, and I'm going to make the swing. You might have a swing thought or something that you've been working on, and you want to keep that simple. One thing ideally, sometimes 2 might work, but anything more than that, now you're juggling at the circus and you're going to drop something. So it's like, keep it simple, but commitment 100%. So once you're standing over it, you can't second, is this the right club? Am I aiming it right? It's like all these things got to be.
And I suppose to that point as well, like you've practiced it, obviously you've got thousands, millions of golf balls. I guess then once you've had that trust and you go through that process, it doesn't matter if you're hitting it on a Saturday morning with your friends or you're teeing it up at the Open or a Ryder Cup, because it's like you've done all that process. So then you can just trust it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's
Top
the key.
tips of hitting 75% of fairways by Henrik Stenson.
We're upping it from 74.
That's already impressive. Thanks, pal. That was awesome. Really, really good. Guys,
you.
be sure to like and subscribe. Check out Henrik Stenson, all of his social media. And yeah, at least it gives you a glimpse of hope of hitting more fairways.